Hi, welcome to NareshIT. My name is Satish. Okay, in the last section we discussed about the XSD restrictions. Already in the last section we discussed these three restrictions. The salary minimum range is 10,000 and the maximum range is 90,000. This is one example we discussed in the last section. The acceptable value is only 3 characters only. This is one more example we discussed, and the acceptable value is 6 digits only. Acceptable value is 6 digits only. So now one more example observe. But your acceptable value is 6 digits, but writing of this 6 braces is increasing the burden. So how to write with another alternative the same condition? Here same element name is equal to zip code, restriction base is a string, what type of characters we required, 0 to 9 digits. So how many required? 6. So another alternative to accept only 6 digits, you can also use a pattern like this. So your zip code is only allows how many characters? 6 characters only. Okay, now here I am going to be introducing one more example, that is the acceptable value is M or F. The acceptable value is either M or F, any one of the character only. So if you want to write this restriction, just we can take one element like this. Element name is equal to, for example, gender. Make this one as a simple type and provide the restrictions. Restriction base is equal to string. Here pattern value is equal to, what is the requirement is the acceptable value is only one character, that is either M or F. So here we can take the pattern MF, close, and close the restriction, then close the simple type, then close the element. Okay, so the acceptable value is now either M or F. Except MF, any other character if you are using, then we will get the error. So how we can write in XML? In XML, you can write the element gender. Gender value is M. Okay, in this case it is valid. Or you can write gender F, close gender. Now also it is valid. Okay, so the acceptable value is either M or F. Except MF, by mistake any other character if you are using, then a parser will give the error. So similarly, one more restriction now I am going to be providing, that is acceptable value is male or female. So like I want to take this one. In the previous example, the acceptable value is either M or F, but now I want to take the acceptable value is either male or female. So how to write the restriction for this condition? Listen, for example, element name is equal to simple type. Here restriction base is equal to string. Pattern, the pattern value is equal to male or female. Then close the pattern, close the restriction, then close the simple type, then close the element. So here the acceptable value is either male or female only. Except male, female, any other word if you are using, then parser will give error. So as per the requirement, when we are creating the elements in the XSD, it is possible to provide the restrictions like this for acceptable data. So this is the restrictions for which one? XSD elements. So next, with this concept, now I am going to be introducing one new concept. What is that one is? In XSD, how to create the user-derived data types. You know, total how many types of data types are there in XSD? XSD data types are how many types? 2 types. One is simple types. Another one is what? Complex types. Simple types, complex types. In simple types, we have 2 types. One is user-derived types. Another one is built-in types. Built-in types are 2 types and user-derived types also be 2 types. What are the user-derived types are there? One is atomic types. Another one is non-atomic types. Built-in types are 2 types. One is primitive types. Another one is derived types, built-in derived types. So these are simple types, and you know already complex types. Complex types also 3 types: empty, simple content, and complex content. So now my focus is how to create these user-derived data types. So now my focus is how to create these user-derived types, that is atomic types and non-atomic types. Okay, to understand these user-derived data types, compulsory XSD restrictions knowledge is required. Because of that reason, initially we discussed XSD restrictions. So now observe user-derived data types. So in XSD, it is possible to create 2 types of user-derived types. User-derived types. One is atomic types, and another one is non-atomic types. Okay, first of all, what is the need of creating of this user-derived types? Best example, okay, if you are writing suppose one Java class, here class student. In student class, suppose it is required we create some variables like student ID, string name plus string city, state, country. So like many number of variables are required. Similarly, we have one class like employee. In employee class also the variables are required like this. Here employee ID, employee name, and city, state, country. Similarly, for example, we have customer class. In customer class also some variables required like customer ID, customer name, city, state, and country. So here we have 3 classes. One is what? Student class. Another one is employee class. Another one is customer class. In these 3 classes, it is required we create the variables like what? City, state, country. Here 3 variables are there, okay. Suppose like this, okay, 100 properties are there that are related to address. So like city, state, country, 100 properties are there that are related to address. So in the student class, in the employee class, in the customer class, address related 100 properties writing is increasing the burden. So instead of writing these variable declarations again and again and again, not only variables, methods also be required. Set city, get city, set state, get state, set country, get country. So like methods also be required to be write. So again writing of variables, again writing of that methods are increasing the burden. So to reuse, what we can do is, here better to create one own data type. In Java, class creation is nothing but what? Data type creation. So here better to create one data type. What is the data type? Address. Class creation is nothing but data type creation. So here create one data type as what? Address. In this address, create city, state and what? Country. City, state and country. So wherever city, state, country is required, plus the required methods required, instead of writing the city, state, country with the required methods, better to use what? Address. With that, what happening here? Reusability is coming. So in Java, we are creating our own data type like address, always for which purpose? Reusability purpose. Reusability purpose. So how we are reusing as? In the student, instead of declaring like city, state, country, just simply use address. In customer, in employee, instead of writing city, state, country, better to use what? Address. Similarly, in customer also better to use what? Address. So instead of declaring the variables again and again and again, better to declare that variables one time in one class like address, and that address class we can use as a data type in the student, in the employee class and in the customer class. With that we will get what? Reusability. So similar to this concept in XSD, okay, derived data types are possible to create. In XSD also, why we are creating user derived data types like atomic types and non-atomic types? Just now we discussed one concept. Provide the restrictions. Provide the restrictions. Okay, acceptable value is 3 characters. Okay, here we are provided the restrictions like acceptable value is 3 characters. My requirement is acceptable value is 3 characters only for 100 elements. For 100 elements. So acceptable value is 3 characters for 100 elements in the XSD. Writing of these restrictions for 100 elements is increasing the burden. So instead of applying these restrictions for that 100 elements, better to create these restrictions with one data type. Wherever these restrictions are required, we apply that respect to data type directly we can use. Similar to previous example, address class is there, city, state, country is there. Wherever city, state, country is required, we use. In the place of city, state, country, what we are using? Address. Similarly, here the acceptable value is 3 characters, that is required for 100 elements. For 100 elements, writing of the restrictions like this is increasing the burden. Instead of writing the restrictions for 100 elements, with all these restrictions we can create one user derived data type. Wherever the restrictions required, the same restrictions, use that respect to data type. Automatically the restrictions will be applied. So reusability is coming. So in XSD we are creating these user derived data types especially for what? Reusability purpose. Restrictions, conditions, reusability purpose, especially you are working with our own data types. Okay, here 2 types of data types are there. One is atomic data types, another one is what? Non-atomic data types. Okay, atomic data type concept almost similar to class concept in Java. Atomic data type concept is similar to class concept in Java. Here non-atomic types, total 2 types of non-atomic types are there. One is list type, another one is union type. One is a list type, another one is union type. Atomic type creation is similar to class concept of Java. And non-atomic types are how many types? 2 types, list type and what? Union type. So how to create our own atomic data type? Now observe. If you want to create your own data type, you can use the following syntax. Simple type, name is equal to create your own atomic data types. Atomic data types. You can use the following syntax. Okay, some data type name is like name type. This name type is which type of data is allows. That we can specify by using what? Restriction. restriction base is equal to string. Inside this one, pattern value is equal to, for example, here the acceptable value is A to Z and A to Z. Okay, acceptable value is 6 characters. Close what? Restriction. Then close what? Simple type. So like we can use. So wherever it is required to be accept 6 characters only, 6 alphabetical characters only, in the place of that one, instead of writing the restrictions, just we can work with what? Name type data type. For example, one more example here I am writing. Here simple type, same one more data type I am creating, that is like number type. Okay, restriction base is decimal. Here the conditions as, for example, min inclusive value is equal to 100, means minimum value is 100, and max inclusive value is equal to, suppose, 99,999. So this is a requirement. Minimum value is 100, maximum value is 99,999. So how to use? By creating these data types. Now observe, in the previous example, I am going to be using this data type. What is our previous example? Employees.xsd. This is our previous example. In this previous example, what is the element is there here? Employees. What is another element is there? Employee. Plus what are the child elements are there? Employee number, name, and what? Salary. So here in this example, employee number contains some data type, name contains some data type, salary contains some restrictions. Instead of writing like this, so now how I am writing with my own data type, observe. Okay, in schema, here I am writing my own data type as what? Simple type. Name is equal to number type. Restriction base is equal to decimal. Min inclusive value is equal to 100. Max inclusive value is equal to some 99,000 value. So how to use this number type? Now observe, it is my data type creation. This data type here I am defining inside the schema. And how to use this data type in element creation? Now observe, element name is equal to employee. Element name is equal to EMP number. The EMP number, instead of using with int type, now I am using with what? Number type. EMP number data type is what? Number type. Number type is one of the atomic data type. So EMP number value must be 100 to 99,999. Similarly, your name I am working with a string type. Salary, for salary, instead of writing all these restrictions, simply for salary also I am going to be using the same type, that is what? Number type. So EMP number, salary, now working with what? Same restrictions, because EMP number and salary both we are declaring with what? Same data type, that is number type. So atomic data type main aim is what? Reusability. Once we are creating the restrictions in one place as a data type, the restrictions possible to use for multiple number of elements. Here I am using for employee number as well as for what? Salary. Number type we are using directly, string we are using directly, number type we are using directly. What we are imported here? xmlns is equal to http://w3.org/2001/xml schema we are imported. When we are using a data type like decimal, or when we are using a data type like string, when we are using a data type like int, all these data types are checking by the parser where? Under XML schema. Similarly, whenever we are using a number type, Number type also, if you are using directly like this, it is also searching under where? It is also searching by the parser where? In XML schema namespace only. But number type is not coming from which one? XML schema namespace. Number type is your own data type. This number data type is available under which namespace? http://empinfo.com. So to use this number type from http://empinfo.com, wherever you are using number type, in that place we can use fully qualified name. If you are not using the number type with fully qualified name, by default parser going to be searching under XML schema only. In each and every place, http://empinfo.com :number type writing is increasing the burden. So to use that number type with a short name, better to create what? Prefix xmlns :emp. xmlns :emp is equal to, it is working like import. By importing I am using what? Prefix creation empinfo.com. So http://empinfo.com, now here I am already created with one prefix. Wherever http://empinfo.com is required, in that place just we can use one shortcut as what? emp. So wherever you are using number type, in that place we can use that prefix what? emp:/number type and emp:/number type. So now the parser is searching number type under empinfo namespace, but the parser is searching the string under XML schema namespace, because here the XML schema namespace we are imported without any prefix creation, and empinfo.com we are imported with some prefixes. So like we can create your own data types. So in this example what I am created, one simple data type, that is what? Number type. This number type I am going to be using here for two elements. One is for which one? Employee number. Another for which one? Salary. So like we are creating and we are using our own data types, that is what? Atomic data types. Okay. In the next class I will discuss the combination of atomic data types and non-atomic data types. Thank you for watching.